Welcome to part 2 of my Truffles tutorial. Here we're going to take a look at the wig and how I constructed it based on the tutorial here, which I link. I gotta give credit where credit is due. Now, I really like this costume because it was so fun in the wig and prop area, but very simple in the dress area. Here you can see I'm just simply sewing a dress down the sides of the seams, and it looks like I've got gills. And these are just a few pictures of the chowder costume that I did to go with my Truffles costume. I've yet to get chowder pictures of my friend in her costume, but I just thought I'd throw those in there because that was so much fun to paint. So first thing for the wig, you have to get your materials. I used a purple paint, styrofoam, an old cut-up t-shirt, pretty much to keep it on the cheap when it doesn't need to be expensive. Then I went on Dr. Locks, which is one of my new favorite websites here. I'll link it for you, and got some lavender extensions. Cut those up and use those in the project. First thing you want to do is take your paint of choice. Now, for me, the underwig was purple, so I used a purple paint, covered the styrofoam base, and then let that dry. Then I took an old t-shirt, just cut it up, and hot glued it around the base of the styrofoam. Then I snipped the edges, and this gives me a little fabric or something to use to attach it to the inside of the wig. Next, I cut a small hole in the wig, because remember the wig stretches, so it needs to be a very small hole. Don't overdo it. And I slipped the styrofoam core through and then glued the inside in. Now you have to be careful because remember wigs fit everyone's head differently, and if my head had been bigger, the wig wouldn't have fit on my head afterwards because it's not flexible and nearly as flexible anymore because you take out a lot of the elastic by cutting that hole. Next thing you want to do is take your extensions and hot glue them or glue them, or just in some method, it's up to you, attach them to the styrofoam. So it doesn't look like there's big styrofoam pieces coming out of the wig, it looks like there's just hair. Now I didn't glue along the sides, I just wrapped the hair around the tip and glued. Because I knew there was going to be hair going over that layer anyway. Next I took my extra extensions and I curled them around hair curlers, and then I dunked them in a hot water bath. I did the same thing with pieces of the actual wig, which I cut up. Okay, I lied. I used 2 wigs, my base wig and then an extra wig, so I cut that extra wig up, leaving the weft itself on the end of the hair pieces, and then curling it out, so that way I had something to attach into the base. So as you can see by these pictures, I took the old wig, newly curled hair, and attached it in with hot glue. This again goes back to the thing where you have to note that you have to know how the wig fits on your head, because obviously I used hot glue because I knew that the wig was going to fit snugly on my head and it wasn't going to be too small. So once you have all that bulk in there, you simply lift up the back and wrap it around the two cones. And I used a few pins here and there, but mostly it just stayed on its own. I didn't use any styling other than a little hairspray, a few pins. You can use a dab of glue, but it's up to you what the character style is. With this specific character, that's all I had to do. This will hopefully just give you some inspiration for the future. Alright, bye guys.